it's Nina Carmichael, and we make these videos because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you get the push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael. If you want to learn how to fix your morning routine and achieve success, you must stay and watch this video. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, be present.
Staying consistent on your morning routine is the difference between you having a good life and a great life. The life that you're living right now, which is good. Listen, you have a good life right now. If you're watching this, you have internet, you have food, you have a place to sleep tonight, you have a pretty good life. You have a pretty good life. But it's not a great life, You know you're capable of more. You know you want to do more. You know that where you are right now is not where you want to be. That imagine a year, 2 years, 5 years. Imagine if you were still in the same spot in 5 years. Imagine your life, your health, your relationships, your finances, the impact you're having, your routine, your daily, like what you're doing on a regular, and nothing has changed in 5 years. It'd still be a good life, but it's not a great life, right? It's not a great life. This is the struggle, that you know you're capable of so much more. If you didn't know you're capable of more, ignorance is bliss. You just keep living your life. But when you know you're capable of more, this is the curse of the achievers. Like, you know you're capable of so much more. No matter how much people look at you and say, hey, wow, you're doing so well, you're doing so much. That's why you're watching these videos. You are the most ambitious person that you know. People look to you for guidance and wisdom, advice and support and encouragement and hope and inspiration. Like, you're the one filling other people up. You're the one inspiring other people to do better, to be more, to go after their dreams. That's you, but who's doing that for you? You know you're capable of so much more. And so how do you get it? How do you do the work? Well, it's a daily thing. This is part of the challenge. It's a daily thing. It gets boring. It gets boring to do the exact same thing every day, to stay consistent on what you said you were going to do. And we start to doubt ourselves. You have days where you're motivated, inspired, ready to take on the world, feeling amazing, and other days where you don't feel so good, and you wake up feeling like, who am I? I can't do this. What I said I was going to do that. You look at your goals like, I'm going to do that. There's no way I'm going to do that. Me? I'm going to stay in bed. It's the thing achievers don't talk about, is there's a lot of days when you just don't feel like you're worthy of it. You don't believe in yourself. You don't think that you can do it. And it's just that consistency that prevents you from doing the thing. Because you have the days when you're on fire, and then entire days, maybe weeks sometimes, where you're just not doing anything. And so how do you keep that momentum? How do you keep that consistency? It starts with a morning routine. And the goal of a morning routine is to help you feel motivated, bold, courageous, ready to take on the day. That's what the goal of a morning routine is. Everybody's got a morning routine. If you're watching this, you got a morning routine. Everybody doesn't have a morning routine. Most people actually wake up like an accident, right? Most people wake up and they fall into their day and they look at their phone and it's other people's emergencies and other people's demands for your time. That's most people's day. But for you, if you're watching this, you're an achiever and you have some kind of morning routine. But most people's morning routine are also broken because you're not doing it consistently enough, or you're not doing it with enough intent. So if you ask, what's the goal of a morning routine? The goal of a morning routine is to get you bold and prepped and ready for the day. Let me ask you this. If you were to, for the next year of your life, right? 365 days, the next year of your life, you're going to wake up and do something that would make you feel bold, powerful, courageous, motivated. Not asking you to wake up feeling bold, powerful, courageous, motivated, but to wake up tired, however you wake up. I woke up tired today. You wake up and then you do something that will help you feel bold, powerful, motivated, courageous, and ready to take on the day. If you woke up and did that for the next 365, how much does your life change? How much does the next year change? How much does the impact that you're making, does the actual momentum that you're taking towards your goals, how much does that change if in the next year you actually did that? It should be tremendously, it should be dramatically, because no matter how much you do in your morning routine, one, you're probably not super consistent on it, and two, you're not getting the feeling even if you are. That's what needs to change. I was in New Mexico and I was doing, on Super Bowl Sunday, my workshop. And it was the smallest group on our tour. And we were talking about morning routines. And there was a woman there and I asked her, what's the most important part of your morning routine? And she said, prayer. I said, so you pray, how often do you pray? Every day, every day, every day. She prays, perfect. How often do you feel the prayer? How often do you feel the connection? And how often are you just saying the words? And she said, like half the time. Great. Other people might look to her and say, well, look, you do it every day. Even for herself, she might look in herself and say, great, I did it every day. As achievers, we like to check the box, right? You like to check the box, say, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it. I prayed, I watched the video, I read the book, I brushed my teeth, whatever. You have your checklist and you did it, right? And you feel great that you did it. But if you don't get the feeling of courageousness and you just check the box, it doesn't count. So watching a video might be part of your morning routine. Great, I'm, if it's mine, I'm honored to be a part of your journey. If it's somebody else's, amazing, do that too. But if you know that watching a video is the thing that helps make you feel alive, bold, confident, you know that there are some days that watching a video actually makes you feel that way, and other days where it doesn't. And you know that watching the same video over and over and over and over every day will lose its impact super quick, right? Day one, you're motivated. Day two, already you've lost like 80% of the motivation that you got from day one. Day three, it's basically over. You run it for a month, forget it. Like you already memorized the words, that the words don't mean anything to you anymore. So you have to have some variety. And if you're watching a video while you're doing something else, this is the achiever's curse. You're watching a video while you're brushing your teeth, while you're taking the dogs out, while you're cleaning the sink, while you're making the bed. You're distracted, you're doing something else, you're trying to multitask, right? Here's what happens to the achievers. You still get to check the box to say that you watched the video. But because you weren't present for the video, guess what happens? There was no retention. There was no feeling. You don't feel ready to take on the day. You don't feel the boldness, the courageousness, and therefore you don't go and have a great day, even though you checked off everything on your morning routine. That's what makes a difference. So if you get to the end of your morning routine and you don't feel bold, powerful, courageous, ready to go for the day, there's one of two things that you have to do. One is you audit your morning routine. You say, what's missing? Does this still work for you anymore? What's missing? Do I need to add something in? Do I need to add an espresso video in during the morning? Do I need to add reading? Do I need to add working out? Do I need to add writing my goals down? Like, what do you need to do to add and tweak and experiment and see if it makes you feel better? Or two, maybe you just need to do the routine again, but with more intention. Maybe you did the whole routine while you were distracted. Maybe you did the whole routine while you're thinking of something else. So you don't get the feeling. There's nothing wrong with the routine. The routine is great. The routine is perfect for you. But if you don't show up with intention, if you don't show up and be focused on it, you're not going to get the feeling. You could sit there and be in the chair. Think about going to classes, going to school. You could sit there and be in the chair. It doesn't mean that you're going to learn. You could sit there and watch a video, but if you're brushing your teeth and doing 8 other things, you're not going to get the feeling. This is the loving push forward that I hope you accept. Because everybody else is going to look at you and see how much you're doing and how perfect you are and how much momentum you have and how many things you're doing, and they look up to you in awe, and you're an inspiration to them. And you should be, because you are doing amazing things. And at the same time, it's nothing compared to what you could do. But the difference between where you are right now and where you want to go is actually not that big. The difference is just minor tweaks between where you are right now and where you want to go. For most of you, it's just minor tweaks. This is one of those minor tweaks. That if you could just stay consistent on having a morning routine, and then inside of that consistency, doing the thing that makes you feel bold, powerful, unstoppable, alive, ready to start the day, not expecting to be amazing when you wake up, but then doing the thing that brings that out of you every single day, your life will change.
Rule number 2, trigger yourself for success.
The trick to getting yourself into action mode is to trigger yourself for success. Triggering yourself for success means you've taken the decision making out of it, that as soon as you come up with an idea, you have trained yourself by default into action mode. You see, your brain will always talk you down from things because it's trying to keep you safe, and it only understands a world that currently exists that is logical and practical. Until you learn to trigger yourself for success, you will constantly doubt your thoughts, your ideas, and your actions. This video is gonna help. So today, I wanna talk about this bag right here. A lot of you leave comments, the newer fans of the channel say, why is Doritos sponsoring your videos? Evan, why don't you have a healthier sponsor? Don't you know what bad Doritos does to your body? You should be promoting healthy living. Doritos is not a sponsor, guys. This is triggering me for success every single day. And this isn't just some tiny bag. It looks small looking back here, but let me bring this up. Look at that. This is right next to my face. Look at how big that bag of Doritos is. I have a strategy, and it's a weird strategy, so maybe you'll love it, maybe you won't, but I have a strategy called Damn the Doritos. I look at this bag. So I'm sitting, this is how I'm working, right? I'm not sitting, I'm standing. I'm standing on a trampoline. This is my workspace right now, right? I'm standing here, I'm working. In the corner of my eye, I got Steve Jobs up here, and I got this giant bag of Doritos. All I want to do is eat this bag all day long. I want to destroy this bag of Doritos. Look at that giant chip. Oh, I'm gonna start drooling soon. I love it. I want to eat that all day long. This bag is here as a reminder of how great I am. This is the mental conversation inside my head. Evan, you're awesome. You're awesome for not eating those Doritos every day. And I want it as a reminder. People say, doesn't it take a lot of willpower? No, it builds, for me at least, builds the willpower, builds my strength. Every time I see that bag of Doritos, makes me feel better about myself, that I'm not eating it and I have the strength to keep going. And so why I have that here is when you're on a diet, right? This is how it began. When you're on a diet, your friends, your family, the experts will say, get rid of all the junk food from your house, get rid of it all, because otherwise you'll be tempted and then you're gonna eat it and then you're gonna ruin your diet. I think that is actually teaching yourself that you suck. You're teaching yourself, I'm a weird duck, you're teaching yourself that you are not strong enough to be around the thing, and so I need to get it out of my environment. The only way that I can stick to this thing is if this other stuff is nowhere close to me. I think you're telling yourself that you suck. I think it's a big crutch. And just like when you break your leg, you have a crutch, your ultimate goal is to not have a crutch. It's to walk, it's to run, it's to be stronger than before, right? And so as a step one, maybe it's good, right? As a step one, okay, fine. You broke your leg, you have a crutch. You wanna get on a diet, you're addicted to junk food, get out of the house, awesome. But as soon as you go on vacation, as soon as you go to an office party, as soon as you go to New Year's, any kind of party, you're gonna destroy the food because you've trained yourself every day that you suck, that you're not capable. I think you're a genius. I think you're stronger than you think. And so I tested it first with myself, and I thought, you know what? Doritos are my nemesis, right? I love Doritos. Oh my gosh, just looking at that bag. So I went to Costco and bought the giant size bag of Doritos. I said, I'm gonna put this on my desk all day long. Because damn the Doritos, because the Doritos are stronger than me? I don't think so, right? I'm Evan Carmichael. And same thing for you. That thing that is holding you, that's stronger than you? I don't think so. Remember who you are. Remember how strong you are. And that's what this is here for. And it's been awesome to see people now take this up. A friend of the channel, Liron, was trying to get off of sugar. And he has this coffee cup with a saucer, and he drinks his morning coffee. And he put 2 packets of sugar on the saucer right next to the coffee. So he pours his coffee, has the sugar right next to it, and then he just starts drinking it and puts it down and looks at the sugar packs and then just drinks the coffee again and puts it down, looks at the sugar packs, and his wife thinks he's crazy. And he's a little crazy too. You gotta be a little bit weird duck, but I think this is actually how you build your strength. Mark Drager, another friend of the channel, is addicted to the Peak Freens cookies. You know, the ones that have the red on the inside and the cream in the middle. Those are among my favorites too. And so his COO, when he heard this, went out and bought all these boxes of Peak Freens and put it on Mark's desk. And he opened it up. And this is one of my favorite things to do. Whenever I'm around Doritos or something I really love to eat, not just say, oh, put that away from me. Don't be around me. I can't have that. And not just look at it. I want to smell it. So Mark took these cookies, brought it right up here. Peak Freen cookies, right up here. Oh, and you can just see the joy on his face just as he's bringing back memories and just what those cookies are gonna taste like when they enter his stomach, and just goodness everywhere, right? The smile on his face, maybe a little bit of drool coming out, you just, and then put the cookies down and walk away. And how great that makes you feel as a human to say, here's one of my biggest weaknesses of all time. Bring it. I own you. Put it down and walk away, right? I think that's how you actually build strength, by doing those difficult things, by triggering yourself for success. Every time I see the Doritos bag, I feel better about myself, I feel stronger about myself, and I want you to do the same thing. If any of you are gonna take on that kind of challenge, I wanna hear you, I wanna follow you, I wanna see how your journey is going, because it can be one of the biggest, most important life-changing decisions that you embark on.
Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action for you to shift that habit forward. So I've designed a special free program to help you get more self-belief for every day. For 254 days, I will send you an email to an unlisted video that, if you watch it, will shift your confidence forward. The links to join for free are in the description below.
One, to get a little bit more credibility. If you're just getting started, people may not know you. There's still a little bit of a cachet around having a book with a major publisher.
Successful people take responsibility for where they are in life.
Find whatever the smallest first step is, and then the smallest next step is, and continue to build those steps. And when you look back, you'll have realized that you made some pretty significant progress.
Rule number 3, be productive.
What matters is that you're productive, that you get results, that you stop wasting time. Too many people default to thinking that if they just wake up an hour earlier, they're gonna be way more productive. If you're not productive in a 16-hour day, what makes you think that you're gonna be more productive in a 17-hour day when you have less sleep? So this is a interesting message and timing for me right now, because I love beating the sun up. I love it. I love working. It's my default state. If Nina is off on a Friday night with her friends or something, 80% chance I'm working. I love it. I look forward to it. When I go close my eyes, I can't wait for it to be the next day. Like, I'm pumped to go off and do the work. I recently did a sleep study, and my doctor was concerned I wasn't getting enough quality sleep. So I went to go do a sleep study, and the doctor, after going through the results, told me that I need to be sleeping 8.5 hours to 9 hours a night. And it like super disappointed me. 8.5 hours to 9 hours? Are you kidding me? I was trying to go from 8 to 7. I was waking up after 8 hours sleep and feeling still a little bit tired. And so that's why my doctor recommended even going to the sleep study. And I'm trying to figure out, how do I hack it to get down to 7 and still be fully functional, not be, lazy and slow and not having my cognition. And he said I need to be sleeping 8.5 to 9 hours a night. And he said, is that normal? Like, are you not worried? He's like, no, as long as you're under 10, it's normal. People range from 6 to 10 and they're totally fine. Like, this sucks. I mean, I'm not happy about it. I'm still looking at how can I hack my sleep more, and we've tried a lot. I have the chili pad. We've got, meditation before sleeping. I'm lying on the bed of nails with the thing behind me, the pillow, the nail pillow. No, phones or computers X amount of time before going to bed. Red light filters on everything. Red lights, no lights at all in the place, right? Like, just these real red lights glowing around after sunset. Lots of it. Cool down the temperature. I don't know, all of it. Don't eat past 8 o'clock. No caffeine past 2 o'clock. All of it. I'm doing all of that stuff. All of it, right? Plus probably a lot more stuff. I've studied and hacked away. I still believe there's a lot more hacking. I still want to get it from 9 to 7. But if I'm at 9 and I need 9, I think you should get 9. I'm at the point now where if I wake up and the sun is still not up, I stay in bed. And that's actually boosting of confidence. It's like, okay, so I wake up and sun hasn't come up yet. Okay, this is hard. This is difficult. It's difficult for me to not get out of bed. I'm gonna stay in bed just because. Now, I'm a weird duck. So maybe this works for you, maybe it doesn't, but I was having a great conversation with Jeremy, who's on my team, who I've invested in his business. He's helping companies scale their YouTube channels. And he was going through the same thing where he was feeling a little tired in the afternoon. He wanted to nap on some afternoons, and that's never been me. So dude, you just try waking up without an alarm. And normally he's up at 4:30 in the morning or something. So just wake up without an alarm and see how it goes. And he ended up sleeping for 9 hours. and hating himself for doing it. It's like, dude, maybe you need 9 hours. Like, much more important than that extra hour or two is what are you doing during the day? If you're losing energy during the day and you want to nap every afternoon, you're not being productive. Like, there's no way. Sleep and be productive. You need sleep to win. I think everybody should get a sleep test. I think it's a brutal experience. You barely sleep, right? When you're there, you got stuff up your nose and a million sensors all over you. But to know how much sleep you actually need, and making sure that you're productive during the time that you are awake. That's the most important thing. That you are productive during the time that you are awake is way more important than if you wake up before the sun gets up. Okay, so how can you do it? I'm gonna give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step number 1 is fix your calendar. Fix your calendar. You gotta make sure that you're productive. Make sure that your actions map to your ambitions. The reason why so many people say wake up early is because your evening hours for many people are not productive. Because when you wake up, you're more likely to be productive and you're gonna do your work, you're gonna get on your morning routine, you're gonna feel like you got a kickstart on the day, you're gonna go off and start to crush it. Where if you're staying up late at night, you're gonna find yourself playing games or watching Netflix or doing things that aren't productive, right? Like waking hours, make sure you're productive. Put it in your calendar, you're waking up around this time, right? How are you gonna spend your morning routine? What does that look like? And then what are you gonna do? And mapping it out. So that when you can step above your calendar and look at the week and the month that's ahead, you say, if I did these things that's in my calendar, I'm gonna be more successful. I'm gonna be closing in on my goals, right? Your actions map to your ambitions. So you create your calendar and then you go and live it. And then you go and do it. The most important thing, again, isn't making sure you're up before the sun. It's making sure that you're doing the things that you said you were gonna do, and the things that you said you were gonna do are gonna lead you to accomplishing the success that you wanna have. You have to be more productive and fix your calendar. Step number 2 is understand how much sleep you actually need, right? I've heard it, I guess, before, but I didn't really buy it until I went and did the sleep study. And again, I'm still trying to hack it. I still believe I can get it lower. Even if I go from 9 to 8, that's amazing. But I have to be fully refreshed. I have to be ready to start my day. And so understand how much sleep you need, right? Here's a challenge for tomorrow. Don't set an alarm and see what time you wake up. And if you sleep an extra hour, and you feel more refreshed, like you're probably living in a massive sleep deficit for you. And so maybe you need 7 hours, or maybe you need 8 hours, or maybe you need 9 hours. And if you need a lot more than that, then maybe, there's a problem, you gotta go get it fixed. I was hoping that he could give me, if I had sleep apnea, amazing. My problem with sleep apnea, awesome, give me the machine, I'll sleep with it every night, I'll sleep 7 hours and I'll go and crush it. It's like, no, you don't have sleep apnea. You don't have any deficiencies. I did a bunch of blood tests, no deficiencies. There's nothing actually wrong with you. You just need 9 hours sleep. It just tears me apart. But you have to figure out how much sleep you need. Because again, sacrificing 1 hour of sleep and being tired all day is not gonna make you more productive. Understand how much sleep you need and then factor that into your calendar, factor that into your life so you can be happy, you can be fulfilled, you can have energy, and you can go and crush your goals. And then step number 3 is work to your rhythm. Some people work better at night than they do during the day, right? Again, as I said earlier, the reason why so many people advocate for a morning start is because at night, most people aren't productive. At night, you're losing time. At night, you're watching Netflix and playing games and doing things that aren't in supportive of your mission, right? Listen to Grant, though. He goes to sleep at 9. Grant Cardone goes to sleep at 9 and he wakes up before the sun comes up. He's getting enough sleep to do it, right? But your best productivity might be at 9. Like maybe you don't even turn on until 9. Maybe you should be working from 9 until 4 in the morning. I don't know, right? Work to your style. Because if you try to be somebody else and you try to work to a different style that's not suited for you, you're not gonna win. It's more difficult if you're working from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. How many hours is that? 10, 11, 12, that's 7 hours, right? If you're working from 9 to 5 the other way, that's gonna be hard to do meetings. That's gonna be hard to have team calls. That's gonna be hard to scale up your business, right? It'll be difficult because most people don't wanna work for a midnight meeting with you. But if that's where you are your most creative and that's where you get the most productivity out of you, then you need to factor that in. If you're more of a night owl and you're gonna work every night, you're gonna move forward on your ambitions every night, then don't beat yourself up because you didn't get up before the sun came up.
Rule number 4, make that small tweak.
You want to swim forever. Adopt the mindset that you want to swim forever. Most people, if you're thinking about swimming, you're swimming to reach the island, right? If you're swimming out in the ocean, you're swimming to reach the island. The island is some goal. The island is, I want to hit 1 million subscribers, I want $1 million in revenue, or whatever, some arbitrary goal. The goal isn't to hit the island. Your intention shouldn't be to hit the island. It should be to swim. You have to love swimming. You want to swim forever. I want to swim forever. Every now and then, you might need to look back, and see how far you've come. See how far you swam. Every now and then, we need that mindset, that gratitude, that perspective to say, wow, I'm so much further ahead than I used to be, right? A big challenge with achievers is we don't feel like we've done enough. Especially high achievers, you don't feel like you've done enough. And that can often be a drive forward, but sometimes it's so overwhelming that it actually puts you in a negative state where it prevents growth. So in those moments, you look back and see how far you swam. It's like, wow, I've come a long way compared to who I used to be. The accomplishments, the belief systems, the mindset, the relationships, like the personal development, how much have you grown? If you actually think about it, how much have you grown in the past 5 years is probably crazy. If you're a fan of this channel, you're watching this video, you've grown a lot in the past 5 years. And every now and then when you're feeling low, you need that perspective shift to look back and see how far you've come. But otherwise, it's forward. Growth, more growth. You want to swim forever. You don't want to hit the island. You want to swim forever. We've all experienced those moments where you hit a goal and then what? What do you feel? You feel a moment of happiness, of accomplishment, and then like, oh, is that all there is? When I hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, like that was the drive, that was the goal. I want to hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I wanted to hit it. I don't even remember what the goal. I wanted to hit it before Gary. I wanted to hit 1 million subscribers before Gary Vee, and we did it. And they're like, oh, I'm still the same person. Somehow we feel that when we accomplish something, we're going to feel different. We're going to be different. You're going to be a different person when you hit that goal. And we end up getting confused because it's not even about the goal. You become a different person in the pursuit of the goal. I've studied more successful people than most people, just in the nature of the work that I do. And there's a reason why the number one rule for success over and over and over and over and over and over and over again is you have to love what you do. You have to love the process. Successful people, they love the process. They love the doing. They love the actual showing up every day. I'm sitting here at a Nina's inside there. Can we see? Nina's inside at a TNT. It's a Chinese grocery store. She's inside doing shopping. I'm sitting here in the car making videos. Why? Because I like it. I like the process. It's not about how many subscribers I have on the channel. I like feeling like this matters, that I'm so grateful that thank you. Honestly, thank you for watching this video. I'm so grateful that you're here watching this video, that I could make something from my car that's worthy of somebody else's attention. Thank you. I love this. We've done over 10,000 videos. Why? Because I love it. Like if it's just a strategy, if you're just trying to reach the island, you drown. If you're just trying to reach the island, you drown. You have to love swimming. This is the mistake most entrepreneurs make when they're first getting started, is you're just chasing an opportunity, but you don't actually love the process. This is a great quote, one of my favorite quotes of all time. It's an African saying that beyond the mountain is more mountains. And it's similar to the swimming analogy. Beyond the mountain is more mountains. What do you do when you get to the top of the mountain? There's another mountain to climb. You don't ever want to get to the top of the mountain. Think about it. If you hit the top, you're going to start to hate your life because there's no growth, because we want more growth. We want more learning. We want more progression. If you felt like you hit the top, that's the fast path down to depression. Beyond the mountain is more mountains. It's the greatest quote of all time, at least one of them. I love that one. I think of Ted Turner's father, whose goal was to be a millionaire, and then he hit the million and he killed himself because he thought, he wasn't happy with his life. He wasn't happy with his process. He wasn't happy with what he was doing every day. But if he hit $1 million, then everything's going to change. Then he's going to be a different person. He hit his million and he was the same person. He wasn't happy. So he killed himself. So Ted Turner, who's, a billionaire, one of the wealthiest people in the world, decided, I'm going to set a goal so big that I'm not going to hit it. And that's the point of having a vision, a mission, like something so big beyond yourself that you never hit it. I want to solve the world's biggest problem, that people don't believe in themselves enough. I'm never going to do that. It's not going to happen, not in my lifetime. And yet I wake up every day trying to make that happen in my lifetime. You have to want to swim forever. So how do you do it? What are the practical steps? Like, great, it makes sense, but how do I actually start living that? A couple things. One, actually look at your life and do you enjoy what you're doing? People ask me, do I burn out in what I'm doing? Like, I don't burn out. I like it too much. Like this, making these videos, I'm going to go home after this and make more videos probably. But this video that I'm making for you right now is not draining or depleting of my energy. It's contributing to my energy. I am manufacturing energy by doing this. So that's why it's easy to do 10,000 more videos, because it gives me more than I give to it. I get more energy as a result of doing this. I'm going to be a better entrepreneur, a better husband, a better father, a better boss, a better teammate, a better mentor as a result of making this video. It gives me energy. Look at your work. That's how you avoid burnout. If I was doing things that sap my energy, if I was in charge of like washing these cars, I'd be burnt out in 5 hours. I would hate my life because I don't enjoy washing cars. I don't enjoy cars, really. So look at your schedule. Do a nice audit on your life. How many of the activities that you're doing every day are giving you energy versus taking away energy? How many of the people that you're spending time with are giving you energy versus taking away energy? And you need to start shifting from, I'm just going to chase an opportunity, I'm going to do whatever it takes. You won't. Hey, newsflash, you won't do whatever it takes. Not if you don't like it. Not if you don't love it. You won't do whatever it takes because you don't love it. And that's okay. Stop judging yourself for not working hard enough. You're not lazy. It's not that you don't want to work hard. You just don't like the thing that you're doing. This doesn't feel like work to me. So it's getting honest with yourself. It's doing an audit. It's looking at your calendar. Are you genuinely excited about the things you're about to do today and tomorrow? And if not, then we have to start to shift out of them, right? Do the things that give you energy instead of taking away. Step number 2 is then actually making a shift to your calendar, right? The fact that you look at your calendar today, tomorrow, next week, and nothing excites you. Okay, great. What can you shift? And it may require a wholesale change. It may require you doing some drastic thing, but more likely you could probably just do one small shift. Like just start building momentum. Just start doing one little thing every day to start to train yourself, to start to just push the ball a little bit forward. Because often we think we have to make some giant change, and the only answer is to move to Mexico. And then it never happens, because to move to Mexico takes you however many, months and budget and all this stuff. You get stuck in planning mode instead of doing. What's a small step? What's a small tweak that you can make to today's calendar to inject more energy into it? What's something that you're going to love doing that will give you more energy, that then now you have energy for other things as well, right? Some kind of immediate momentum.
Rule number 5, the last one before our very special bonus clip, build momentum.
The only thing missing in your life is momentum. You're a genius. You've got great ideas. You are the Michael Jordan of something. The only thing that is stopping you is your ability to do difficult things and start building momentum. I think for so many people, it's not just doing the thing that scares you first thing in the morning, it's doing it at all. Most people just don't do it at all. You've got a great idea. You know it can work, but you're afraid of judgment. You don't know where to start. You're afraid of it being not perfect and people telling you that you suck and you failing publicly. You're afraid of all that stuff, and so you don't do anything. You got your foot on the gas and brake at the same time, knowing that you're capable of more, knowing that you have greatness in here, but then being too afraid to go off and execute it. And so I think not just starting your day with the thing that scares you, just moving, doing something, anything, just getting started on your crazy idea. It's not that you're leaving it to the afternoon, it's that most people aren't doing it at all. So I was on a call with an entrepreneur friend of mine yesterday, and she was upset, she was frustrated. She had decided last year, mid last year, right? June, July last year, that she needed to let somebody go on her team. This person was being toxic in their environment, was still producing results for the company, but just being a big drag on the company, on the culture, and on herself as trying to lead this team of people. And so she decided, I gotta let this person go. It's 6-7 months later now, and she still hasn't done it. she still hasn't done it because she's afraid of maybe not finding the right person to replace, the impact of having to go through training and hiring all over again. And she just hasn't made the decision. The biggest problem is she has not decided. And so I said, when is this gonna matter to you? You decided, right, last year, 6, 7, 8 months ago, and you still haven't done the thing. And she said, well, if it gets to a year and I still haven't done it, then I have to go off and do it. And this is where your standards come into place. How long after you've made a decision do you actually start to do something about it? In her case, her standards were a year, in that she decided, but then a year later, that's when it's too much. That's when it's gone too far. That if she hasn't done it in a year, now it's too much. I want you to shorten that gap. Teach yourself that as soon as you decide, you do something, you act, you put the plan into motion, because you don't have that many years left. I look at her, you know, she's not old yet, she's not midlife yet, but you don't have that many years left. And this isn't even that big a decision. Whatever is in front of you is not actually that big a decision. There are much bigger decisions ahead. It may feel like a big decision. It may feel like it. But after you've done it and you get through it, you realize, I could do that again. And there's another bigger decision ahead. You need to shorten the gap between deciding that you want to do something and actually taking action towards it. I'm going to give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step 1 is identify, what do you need to do that scares you? What do you need to do? You have ambitions, you have goals, you have dreams, you know you want to accomplish something big, right? You know you're capable of more. What do you want to do that scares you? If you have big dreams, it needs to come with a healthy dose of fear. If you're not afraid of what you want to do, it's not big enough. If you wake up and just do the things that you know how to do and what to do, you actually hate your life. You're just waking up and doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You want to do something bigger, and that's scary. So what is it? What is the most important thing that you need to do right now in your business or your life that scares you? Number 2, identify what is the BS out that you keep giving yourself. You're giving yourself an out. You're letting yourself off the hook. You're telling yourself, I'll do it after X. I'll do it when this. You keep giving yourself a reason why not to do it today. What is the BS reason? It's not total BS. There's some logic in it because you're a smart person. You wouldn't come up with some really stupid reason why you can't do it. You're giving yourself a really smart reason why you can't do it yet, right? It's scary. It's not because you're afraid. Of course not. It's because of this very logical thing. And once I get through this, then I can do it. But then once you get through that thing, there's something new in the way, right? And you keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. So identify what is the BS out, the BS excuse, the BS reason that you are giving yourself for not pulling the trigger today. And then step number 3 is, how will you build momentum for it today? Today matters. Today, you wrote it down. Teach yourself. The fact that you wrote it down, the fact that you're thinking about it means you have to do something about it. You are not allowed, no more, not anymore. You are not allowed to think of something that scares you that you want to do. You want to do it and it scares you. You are not allowed to put it off anymore. You are not allowed to then sit and say, well, I'll do it later. You may not be able to fully do it right now, but some small step, an email, research, a phone call, some small step right now, immediately to say, I'm going to build momentum towards this. That's what you want to teach yourself. That's one of the greatest gifts that you can ever teach yourself, is that as soon as you come up with an idea that you are a genius, that you are Michael Jordan, that you are capable, that you will figure it out, and that it's scary. And that's amazing because you do scary things. Identify the BS reasons why you're not actually doing it, and then today, immediately build some kind of momentum towards it. Having an infinite mindset comes from you wanting people to win more than you want them to win with you. You want people to win around you, your friends, your family, your team, your customers, the people you interact with. You want them to win as people in their life, in their goals, whatever they want to accomplish. You want them to win more than you want them to win with you. If you can start to adopt that mindset, it really starts to shift how you see your relationships, how you see your business, how you see the people on your team. And it allows so much more positive energy to flow in the right direction for everybody to accomplish their goals. So, quick example. I made a bunch of videos on Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is one of the first people that, he was, I guess, the first big person who kind of recognized the work that I was doing. And he put the video I made on him on his homepage on YouTube and got a lot more views. And we made more videos on Tony Robbins.
Tony then invites me to go to his event. We did a couple interviews together. He invites me to go and puts me in, the awesome seating right up front. And I got a lot of people coming up to say, hey, Evan, they recognize me. I'm also wearing the hoodie. Not that I'm a celebrity, but in that kind of world, people would recognize me. And they said, you introduced me to Tony Robbins. That they found out about Tony Robbins or Simon Sinek or Tom Bilyeu or whoever through the content that I'm putting up. And I had a few people who said, hey, I found out about Tony Robbins from you, and I haven't actually gone back and watched your videos in a while because I've been so deep in Tony Robbins land. And now I'm here at this event and paid thousands of dollars to be here learning from Tony. And I don't watch your channel anymore, but thank you for introducing me to Tony Robbins because that's what I watch now. I'm pumped. I'm excited. It's like, that's amazing. Thank you for telling me. Now, would I love for them to be with me forever? Yes, of course, absolutely. But I'm more happy that you're off winning. If you watch this video and you learn from Simon Sinek and you've never heard of him before, you have, and you want to dive deeper, and then you go and you buy all his books and you subscribe to him on YouTube and you dive deep into his world and you don't come back and watch another video of mine for another 12 months, I'm pumped for you. I want you to win as a human, as an entrepreneur, more than I want you to subscribe to my channel and keep watching videos here. It's just a fundamental shift in how you see relationships. I look at the people on my team. I want them all to win as people more than win with me. And I see everybody that I'm working with as a parallel path. You and I right now, you're watching this video, we're on a parallel path. This is a parallel path that we're marching on together. And then at the end of this video, you're gonna go off and go do something else, and hopefully productive and empowering and impactful. You're gonna have a great day. Come on, let's go, Believe Nation. But you're gonna go off and do something else. You're gonna step out the different Carmichael path and go do something else. And maybe you come back on the path, or maybe you go way off and you never come back. But right now, you're watching this video, we're on a parallel path, you and I, together. I just want to maximize that time together. That while you're on a path with me, that you're going to become better. And that should be your goal with the people you're around, that we have these parallel paths that we're running together for a certain amount of time. And maybe that's 10 minutes in a conversation. Maybe that's a year of somebody working with you. Maybe that's 10 years. Maybe that's a life partner that's forever, right? But you're on these parallel paths. Your goal needs to be, while somebody's interacting with you in person, via email, through your content, they're with you, that they're a better person because of that interaction with you. If you can do that, if you can just change the way you see relationships to do that, to instead just think about yourself first and think about them first and helping them accomplish what they need to accomplish, even if it means leaving you. I've recommended people to courses and programs that are not my own. I've kicked people off of my team because I was going to hold them back. They wanted to stay here, but like, you need to go and do that thing. This is too safe and comfortable for you, and I can't give you the thing that you want. You have to leave and go do that thing and push them towards it. It makes a huge difference. Okay, so how do you do it? You start by being their chief goal officer. Everybody who you come in contact with, be their chief goal officer. What that means is understand what is their most important goal in their life. What are they trying to accomplish? And then go out of your way to try to think about how you can help them. And maybe you can help them inside your business, inside your expertise, inside what you're really good at. Or maybe it's an introduction that you can make to somebody else. Or maybe it's just researching a little bit about what they care about to help them. A quick example, one of my instructors at Toronto Dance Salsa has Lyme disease. Also, one of the guys on my marketing team now has Lyme disease. But at the time, I knew nothing about Lyme. I didn't know what it was, didn't know what it caused, didn't know how you got it, didn't know anything about Lyme disease. But because she has it, I started learning about Lyme disease. I set up a Google News alert that anytime there was something about Lyme disease, I would get notified. And I started sharing things with her that she hadn't seen before. Started sharing that Avril Lavigne has Lyme disease and Shania Twain had Lyme disease, and they both took big breaks from their singing career because of the impact of Lyme disease. If there's new treatments or holistic healing or other people talking about it, then I would share it with them. And I would also educate myself in that process, to the point now where she has opened up her own Lyme disease holistic healing practice and doesn't teach at my school anymore.
She's left the school to go launch this business. And I'm so excited for her. It's great. It's fantastic, right? We're on a parallel path, and now she's jumped off and done her own thing, which is amazing. Now, did I make her go launch that business? Of course not. Did I have a tiny little piece of inspiration or hope? Maybe. I'd like to think so. But when you can help people accomplish their goals, it does two things. One, it makes you feel good. You know how good it feels to help somebody, right? We're all built to serve. Where's the book right there? We're all built to serve. It makes you feel good to know that you help somebody. This is what we all want to wake up and feel like what we do matters, is meaningful. You are built to serve. And so when you can get out of your own selfish interests and go help that person accomplish what they want, it feels good. I get more joy from doing that than a business transaction, right? I get more joy from sending her something that she's like, oh my God, I didn't know that existed, than how many views I got on my video yesterday, right? It feels weird to know, great, we have 3 million subscribers on my main channel. I don't even know what that means. It's hard to even contemplate that. It doesn't feel like anything I can touch. But knowing that I helped one person with something is the thing that gets me excited. So it feels good. And the more you feel like you're doing things that matter, at least to one person, it gives you the motivation, energy to just keep going. Because a lot of times that's the thing that we struggle with, is we don't feel like what we do matters. It's not important. Then we lose motivation, then we stop, we quit, right? So you have to feel the connection to the work you're doing. The second thing I found though, and this was quite accidental, is that all this stuff ends up paying off. I've been in this game long enough now. I'm 41. I started doing content in speeches and then my website when I was 21. So it's been 20 years. I spent half my life. Wow. I spent half my life making videos, making content, trying to help entrepreneurs, half my life. And what's great about that, when you have some longevity, is you start to see the fruits of your labor. You start to see those seeds that you planted in other people, you start to see it pay off. Now, not for everybody. There's lots of people who I've helped, or I was their first episode on their podcast, and then maybe they didn't even launch the show, or they don't do anything with their goals. But when you see some people take off, they always try to find a way to pay it back. A great example is a guy named Nick who runs Book Thinkers. It's an Instagram account, an Instagram network of it's the largest Instagram network of nonfiction books. So if you care about nonfiction books and learning, go check out Book Thinkers and check out Nick. When I wrote Your One Word a bunch of years ago, I reached out to Nick and said, hey Nick, love what you're doing on Instagram. I'd love to send you a copy of my book or do some kind of collaboration. Let me know. And he didn't have a big account at the time. And I was the first author, brand name, whatever, to reach out and try to do something with him. And he said yes, and we did, a quick little thing. Fast forward 3 years later, I launched my second book, Built to Serve, which is great. And Nick had, in that time, built the largest network of Instagram accounts for nonfiction books. He went from just purely starting up and didn't have much to 3 years later having this giant network of accounts. And when Built to Serve came out, he wanted to help promote it. Where otherwise that would have been more of a challenge. Hey, I've got this book. Do you want to help and be a part of it? He was looking for ways to give back because of the help that I'd given him, right? And so I don't want you to think and be strategic to say, okay, if I help this person out, then in 3 years, they're going to help me out, right? If you're only thinking of what am I going to get from this, you've already lost. I'm just telling you that it's practical. I'm telling you that karma is practical. I'm telling you that giving love and helping people becomes practical if you do it enough. Jonathan Fields calls it maximum sustainable generosity. And I love how he said it, because you want to be generous as much as possible, but at some point it's not sustainable because you run out of time, you run out of effort, you run out of money. You can't just give everything because you need to sleep and you need to pay yourself and you need to run your business, you need to do your things. But what is the maximum sustainable generosity? Where the focus is just on helping people, on helping the people who are around you, being their chief goal officer, having the infinite mindset, wanting people to win more than wanting them to win with you. And by helping them accomplish their goals, great things will happen for you too.
Promise. You just have to be around long enough to have it come back. Because some people next week will help you, and some people, it may take 2 years. But if you're committed to doing the thing that you're doing, I'm in this game forever. I want to help entrepreneurs forever. I've been doing it for half my life already now, and double my life again at 80, I'll still be doing this. It may not be YouTube, maybe we're VRing or hologramming into your living room or something, and we're filling virtual stadiums, I don't know. But I'll still be doing this when I'm 80. And if you found that thing that you love connecting with, that this is not just a short-term opportunity to try to make money this year or the next 3 months, but like this is your life's work and purpose, that you want to wake up every day and do something that's going to contribute to society and move it forward in some way, that you mattered to people because you showed up and did the difficult thing and shared your story and put your content out there and created a product or service that actually moved the needle for people. Like if that's what you want to do, then you have to adopt the infinite mindset. Then you have to be thinking long-term. Then you have to be trying to have maximum sustainable generosity, to be their chief goal officer. And at the bottom of all of it is wanting people to win as humans in their life more than you want them to win with you. Adopt that mindset and everything changes. Because you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Most people start and don't finish. Most people never actually follow through. Most people say they want something, but they don't ever do the work to actually get it. But you are different. You are special. Believe Nation, you made it here all the way to the end, and I love you. So as a special celebration, if you put a hashtag believe down in the comments below on this video, I will showcase you and celebrate you somewhere on the screen in a future video because you are awesome.
If you want to blow up your speaking business, check out the video next to me. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
To speak more, you need to speak more. That right away could just already double your speaking business. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Jeff.